and he's heady, and they like him in there. So that's one thing, hopefully in these first few non-conference games, there'll be enough of a blowout or two that they'll be able to get our first real look at JT Barrett at quarterback.
For sure. I mean, as much as you like to say it's being cautionary, it's always a concern when you're, 12 days away from kicking things off and you're not yet able to really get some work in with your number one guy. I mean, obviously they've got a lot of time to get it right, but yeah, some concern, especially because I know you, just like I heard the stories that came out after him not coming back out and deciding to go back to school, that played a big part in his decision making because of the concerns about his ability to come back from the injury and to be the guy that he was before and get better, because he still had to improve upon that. So I mean, that played a lot. Some people may not even realize that, but that played a lot into his decision to come back to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's true. And also I think he every year there's lots of other quarterbacks coming out, and I just think that because of the physical problems he had and missing some games, that he and of course missing out on the Big Ten championship and or some championships beyond that. Certainly the allure of those things is there for him. And I'm not saying he's concerned about personal records, but Braxton Miller is going to shatter all the total offense, total touchdowns responsible for. Rushing yards by quarterback. There are a number of career records that Braxton Miller this season, if he stays reasonably healthy, will not just break, but will just shatter totally and put a lot of distance between himself and anybody else. The Schleister total touchdowns, I think, had 85. I think Braxton's sitting at about 79 right now with a full season to play. So that and the total offense record is gonna go down very, very early in the season as he rushes and passes his way through his senior year. So he's going to be sitting atop an awful lot of those career records for Ohio State by the time this season's over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The key is going to be, like you said, not only getting it working well and getting it built up, but also getting it built up a bit to sustain because, football's a physical sport. And if I'm on the other coaching staff, I'm not asking anybody to hurt the kid. But I'm asking everybody to realize that he may have a weakness out there. So, you're always playing with a target. You're already a target when you're the star of a team like that, but you're got even more of a target based on your medical report. So, that's going to be a concern. I think every time he takes a big hit all season, Braxton, I'm talking about, you'll have that hold your breath moment till he bounces up and gets back in the huddle.
No doubt. And what we've seen for 3 years now is that Braxton isn't particularly careful. I don't want to say reckless, but darn close to it.
Oh, he'll go. He'll run into
you. He flies
man.
around out there, and if he needs to leave his feet and touch the ball down in the end zone, standing on his head, that's what he does. And we've seen that happen a number of times. And so, careful would not be a word to describe him. You love that about him, but at the same time, wow, man, Braxton, there's more games to go. Let's stay on 2 feet. So, yeah, you'd like to see him maybe run out of bounds once or twice more, to be a little bit more careful because he is the franchise, as they say.
All right, less than 2 weeks out. Last word, and we'll check back in on the Buckeyes and I next week. But anybody that we didn't mention here that has shined or stuck out to you so far that people should keep an eye on, perhaps?
Well, I think the name to look at among names that you haven't seen before, Curtis Samuel, certainly the running back from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
they say has just looked phenomenal, and to see how much Raekwon McMillan gets time at the middle linebacker. He's the true freshman from Georgia. Curtis Grant is being pushed by him. I understand they've developed quite a nice relationship between themselves, each other. In the competition that's been going on. But Raekwon McMillan is a big-time player. He's going to be the starter here for hopefully 3 years, and at some point in time he'll be taking over in the middle for Curtis Grant. Beyond that, Darren Lee grabbed the starting job at outside linebacker. He's still in a fight for that job with Chris Worley. Worley is also out of Glenville. Darren Lee's a kid from New Albany near Columbus. They're both about 6'2", 6'3", 225. They're both very fast. They're both sort of in the mold of a Jermail Hines type of kid, playing at that Sam linebacker, the strong side linebacker, which is now getting into a lot of coverage responsibilities in this new defense. those two kids, both Darren Lee, Chris Worley, look for those two guys because they're both up and coming talents and going to change the look of this linebacker core along with McMullen, and of course we'll have Josh Perry coming back on the other side at the will.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to keep Raekwon McMillan from charging for too long, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing him play some ball. One of the ones we've talked about before. And you know what? This is crazy because we didn't even touch it, but we've got time, and he's not exactly in a position battle here. We'll get to it next week. But, man, of course, we've mentioned Dontre Wilson, and him and Curtis Samuel perhaps playing together coming out of the backfield. Two guys who can both hit 4.3 or so, 4.3-ish. On the
and
40.
And then add to that list, Jerry, Jalen Marshall.
Oh yeah,
because everybody is predicting a big year from him too. He is a rock solid 210 and fast and under 4.5 kind of a kid. Not easy to tackle. I've been saying it for months, and you're tired of hearing me say it, but people are going to be stunned at the speed and talent of the skill position players on this offense. Dontre Wilson is just one of about 8 guys that they've got that are all supremely talented, fast, young, and it's just going to be an awful lot of fun to watch this offense this year because there are just so many weapons that there's just no stopping them all.
Going to be much faster. I'm not going to sit here yet, much like the Browns. I have said I cannot predict you anything until this preseason's over and we get an idea for what they're really going to play like. Same thing here. I'm not going to tell you Buckeyes are going to win it all. They're going to finish here or there. Let's wait a little bit. But, man, the speed at the skill position, this is going to be a different Buckeyes team, man. Now I think you're really going to see some of these recruits and some of what Urban Meyer brings to the table here with this. I'm excited, like you said, we'll see some of these guys cut loose. And like you said, that's one of 7 or 8, I mean, little mini Percy Harvins running all over the place. I am very anxious to see some of those guys really start to come into their own. I don't know what the sum of all this is going to be yet. We'll figure that out as we go, but it's going to be fun to watch, and the next few seasons are going to be fun to watch, not just what's coming up.
Yeah, no doubt, because here in Meyer's third year, you're starting to see predominantly kids that were recruited by Meyer, and
yeah.
That's he's getting the guys he wanted to be here. One of the things he has been very candid about is lack of playmakers on the outside at the receiver positions. You've got some kids this year. Certainly, Devin Smith will be back and Evan Spencer back, but Michael Thomas you're going to get a look at, a guy who played a little bit as a freshman and then redshirted last year. And some freshmen like Noah Brown and Johnny Dixon, so some kids like that, and James Clark coming back from a knee injury last year. So those questions are going to be answered as well, and a big part of what this offense does is going to be dictated by what kind of productivity and what kind of playmaking ability they can get out of those the wide receivers there on the outside.
That's it, and that's why I say this season may be fun, but it may be about figuring out who works best where and what plugs in to be truly high-powered over the next 2 or 3 years beyond that. I'll tell you what, we'll see. You and I will catch up again on Wednesday, and who knows, we'll have a ton of things to get into. Also want to talk more. We didn't do it today. Let's do this Wednesday. The changes in the NCAA as in general. Let's talk about some of that Wednesday as well, and then who knows? Indians will be playing. I'm sure that we'll have some information about the Browns quarterback position by Wednesday, so no shortage of things for you and I to get into.
That's for sure. Well, as we usually do, Jerry, we'll make it up as we go along, okay?
Oh, that's right, baby. I love that. To me, that's the best way to do it, man. That's the best way to do it. Dan, always fun. And then next week, we'll be right on the verge of kicking things off for the Buckeyes. So a lot coming up over the next few weeks for us.
Sounds good. We can preview Navy next week or something.
That's right. Option, baby. We'll talk about it.
There you go. Catch up to you later, Jerry. Thanks a lot.
You got it, my man. You guys remember you can tweet with him always at DWismar on Twitter. We're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. They caught the War Machine. We'll talk about that. We will talk about a few other things in the news, wrap things up for the day, set the stage. Browns game tonight. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back. Final segment of the Sports Fix. Phone lines are back open. 216-539-7535. Last chance to get in on the phones. 216-539-7535. Last segment of the Sports Fix coming up next.
to the Sports Fix.
If you want to be my lover.
It's an addiction. The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Indians fans, GV Art and Design has unleashed their new baseball collection. This summer, you've got to have one of the hottest baseball shirts available. Indians themes, GV Art has them covered from top to bottom. Chief Wahoo, keep the Chief, one of the hottest sellers going today. GV Artwork, knocking it out of the park, teaming up with Michael Brantley to create a custom Dr. Smooth t-shirt, bringing back an old classic. GV Artwork, bringing out the wild thing. Give them the heater design. The Cleveland That I Glove collection continues to grow. New designs for women and so much more. GVArtwork.com, bringing it full force to the plate for baseball season this year. Whether you check them out online, GVArtwork.com, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10 to save 10% on your total purchase. Whether you go to their store in Lakewood, check them out at the Cleveland Indians team shops around Progressive Field, and so much more. GV Art and Design. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
This is the Sports Fix. What is your name?
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Dude, what do you want?
Well, it's this rug I have. It really tied the room together.
We are not a show to be swept under the rug. We are a show to be heard.
It's the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, final segment of the show across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys, wrapping things up. Thank you so much once again for being with us. Let's get the formalities out of the way. Thanks to my man, Dan Wismar, who was just with us, and John McMullen from the Sports Network, who was with us a little bit earlier on in the show, previewing the Redskins and the Browns tonight. Thanks as always. Those guys are with us every Monday as we do that. We kind of have specific people, specific days. If you're new to the show and you find someone you like, it just makes it that much easier to know when to come back. Speaking of, this week, coming back to the regular rotation, BJ Riddell, Fantasy Football for Winners. He'll be back with us. I'm assuming we're going to be in the regular spot, which would put him back in the Thursday rotation, but I'll double check that and let you guys know. But each and every week, we'll tell you who to sit, who to start, who to pick up in your leagues, who's your sleepers, and all of that to help you be a winner. Fantasy Football for Winners with BJ Riddell. So looking forward to that. And a new, he's been here a couple times, but he's going to be a new weekly staple during football season, and it starts this week. The BSK Kendall Lewis going to join us beginning Thursday as well, as he's here with us. Can't wait. Charles, I'm on it, my man. Chill out in the chat room. Of course, speaking of fantasy football, I'll remind you, as I did in the beginning of the show, and I'll tell you guys about it all week, but we have limited spots available in this year's Sports Fix Fantasy Football Challenge, where we, it's myself, it's some other members of the behind-the-scenes show, it's some of the guys that we do stuff with, it's some of the various people you hear, and some of you listening at home get to be a part of the league. We have some fun. It's always a nifty prize pack at the end. Last year, somebody ended up with a nifty championship belt courtesy of the Sports Fix and Pro-Am belts, and we'll officially declare the prize here as we get closer to it. But if you want to be considered for one of the open spots, it's easy. Email the Sports Fix at